Okay, we are going to go over some vocabulary for percents. We are dealing with the tip. The tip is a additional or an additional amount of money added to a service, and that would be addition. A fee is an additional cost added to a situation. That is also addition. Tax is a charge put in place, usually by government, and it is also addition. Salary is the amount of money someone is paid. It's an addition. Usually weekly or yearly. Commission is a percent of a sale that is paid to the seller. It's an addition. The last one is clearance. And we're not going to say and, we're going to say a. Usually, a percent taken off of a price. Since it's taken off, it is a subtraction. You can pause to make sure that you get these completely copied down, but I'm going to keep going because you can pause. Now we are getting into the practice application. And it says Louis made 390 degrees in tips. So tips means plus waitressing. He had to give 20%, so give 20% of his tips to the boys who cleaned the tables. How much money did he have to get them? Now, in case you didn't know, the people that clear your tables usually are, when tips are earned, they're split. They are not paid by the hour either, but they don't have the opportunity to give tips. So we need to calculate 20%. You can do that by doing 390 times 20%. You could do that by doing 390, I guess in the calculator, or at least in the Desmos calculator, you will type 20%, and then it will say of 390. Or if you do it the way that I like it, which sometimes you want to and sometimes you don't, you'll set it up with the percent side, which has got the 100 on the bottom, and the money side, which is on the other. So he made 390. That is the whole amount that he made, and you put X right there. So then you will cross multiply. 100x equals 390 times 20. Again, you want to write down all the steps because we are leading towards algebra, and it's just helpful if you do one step at a time progressively. I'm going to make sure that my math is correct. 390 times 20 equals 7,800 equals 100x, and then my next step is to divide. That's why I wrote it out on a whole new line. So x equals 78, and then I have to remember that it is dollars to make sure that it's written correctly. Now, if I use my calculator and I push in the buttons, you cannot hear me doing it, but I am doing it. 390 times 20% is 78, and we have to remember to put the dollar sign with it. So that is one way to do those. And, well, that's 3 ways to do those. Number 2, same situation. I'm going to change colors, though, so that we can see it. The Tyler family went out to dinner and received great service. They decided to leave a tip. So this is in addition. If their dinner bill totaled $93, it is only asking for the tip. So I do not have to do any adding or subtracting to this one. So I'm going to do all the ways. You can recognize that you can go 93 times 22%, get an answer. You can also do in Desmos 22%. It will say of, and then it will say $93. Or you can set it up with the percent proportion. So again, I have a percent on one side, so my percent is 22. It goes over there. And $93 is the dinner bill totaled. So that is just the $93. It does not include the tip. Yeah. I was thinking about that one just to make sure. So then you would cross multiply, put the 100x on one side, put the 93 times 22 on the other side. My calculator says that 93 times 22 is 2,046. So we get 100x. Then you will divide by 100 and you get x equals 20.46, and that is dollars. Let's verify it with the other 2 ways. It is just typing it into the calculator. 93 times 22% is $20.46. So I'm showing you that sometimes you don't have to do the proportion setup. If it has both things, that's up to you. Okay, we're going to go ahead and go to number 3. It says Maggie ordered $325 worth of photographs. She has to pay a 15% shipping and handling fee. How much is the fee only? So that means I don't have to do anything extra with this guy either, except 325 times the 15%, or 15% of 93. Or sorry, I went up there, 325. If you choose to set it up, which way works every single time, and it's practicing your algebra skills, you're more than welcome. So my percent is 15%. My total without the fee is 325. Since we're trying to find out the fee, I put the x there. I'm going to cross multiply. So this side is the 100 and the x. This side is the 325 and the 15. Why do I do that? Because I can do this side, but I can't do anything to the 100x, so I bring it down, use my calculator, and I do 325 times 15, and you get 4,875. Last step is to divide 1 by 100. X equals $48.75. Now I will show you that if you are a student that chooses to use the calculator, I'm going to do 325 times 0.15. So I'm doing this side. I just typed that into the calculator, and I got $48.75. So again, showing you that use your choice which way you want to do it. These that are just straightforward onlys, I probably would do this side. But the ones where it's not only, I probably would not do that side. Okay, number 4, you purchase a $1,000 television. You have to pay 7% sales tax. How much will the tax be? So this is just asking for the tax. Again, 1,000 times 7%, or 7% of 1,000. You'll calculate that, find your answer. I do believe it's like 7 cents. 70, whoa. 1,000 times 0.07. It's a $70 tax. If you're setting it up, because see, I generally would not set these up at this point, but you're more than welcome to. I'm going to show you how it would be set up. This is my percent side. I have 7 over there. I do not know the cost of my tax. That is why these two go together. 7% is tax, and let's change colors. 100% is the cost of the television. Okay? You can solve that the same way. All right, let's go to the next problem. Josh took a 60-question math test. He scored 80. How many questions did he get correct? So the correct goes with the 80%. So again, this one is not asking me to set anything up, but I could. So there was 60 questions. I do not know how many he got right. Is 80% what he got right with 100%. So I want to highlight again. We know 80%. We don't know how many questions. We know 100% of the test was 60. So that's how we would set that one up if we were doing it that way. But this is another one where I would do 60 times 80%, or I would do 80% of 60 with my calculator. And I would get, let me make sure, 48 questions. Okay, let's look at number 6. These are probably going to be two-steppers. As you can tell, this is the one it might be beneficial to set it up with a proportion to make sure that you multiply and divide the way that you're supposed to, or the way that it's, for me, easier. Julia takes her family out to dinner. The dinner for all 5 members of the family totaled, so dinner totaled $92 without tax. This is important. The server did such a great job, they gave her a 20% tip. So we need to figure out what her tip is. So my brain is picturing what happened at the or at the dinner store. It was $92 for my meal. I would take it times 20% because it's not at this point asking me the cost. So 92 times, I think that is 1880, but 92 times it's 1840. I was close. $18.40. So you can do that. Now this B helps us out because it says what would be the total tip included. Okay, so that means I need to take the cost of my dinner, which was $92, and I have to add my $18.40 to it. So my meal cost me $110.40. So I like that this one was lucky and broken into pieces for you so that you don't have to think as hard. But it's making you realize how to think when you take your test. All right, let's go to number 7. It's almost our last one. It says Jose earns a salary of $246 per week plus a commission. His sales for the week. So this is where we need to understand what sales is. He earns $246 a week. That has nothing to do with percents. That is added on later. Okay? He earns off what he sold. So he gets 32% of what he sold. So I don't have to worry about that 246 yet. So I'm going to take that 31,000 and I'm going to multiply it by 32%. And I will use my calculator because you will have that available to you. And I get $9,920. Maybe I'm in the wrong profession. So this is for his sales. Okay? But the second question is asking about his total income. So this is where we talk about this much. It's still the same as like your waitresses. They make a very little amount hourly, but their tips increase it. So we're going to take his $246, which is, fairly decent money, I guess. But you add the $9,920 to it, and that is how much he makes for the week. So that would be, I'm using my calculator because why not? It's available. This is what he makes. Okay, this one I find funny. It's about a couch, and the couch is like next to nothing at the end. So, the couch and furniture store is going to clearance add a couch. Clearance means subtract. For $75 off its original price. The couch is originally priced at $300. How much is the discount? So that means I'm going to take $300 times 75%. And I believe I get 200 and something. Let's see. I'm using my calculator because, again, if it's available, I'm going to use it. So I got $225 off. Wow. Cheap couch. That means I'm not paying $220. That means I'm going to take my original cost of the couch and I'm going to subtract $225. And my couch costs me $75 after huge discount of 75%. So if you have any questions, please let me know. But this is what we are focusing on and continuing to practice and choose which method works for me, or in this case, you.